I know if I'm competing there, I know where my competition is. And I be telling myself, this is coming down to the touch. And again, if I come in, have I gained an unfair advantage? That's an unfair advantage. And the timer will see it, and the timer will just stop the watch. And if you're going with electronic pads, the pad doesn't know that I didn't have a two-hand touch. So that's why it's critical to watch the finish. And here, you have to walk the deck on the breaststroke and the butterfly. You walk your half. Hopefully your peer group on the other end is picking them up and taking them in for the turn. And if they're not, that's a referee's job to say, hey, come on, I want you walking the deck. But the critical thing is to be in position to watch that turn wall and then the finish wall. Okay? Now, I'm just going to touch on the individual medley.
It says something about on the true and false, the second water under pull for 8 and under division. That's false.
False.
Okay.
Question is on your test, the second armful for the 8 and unders, and thank you for bringing that up. We're not giving the 8 and unders much of a break here. And years ago in the league, everyone said, well, they're kids, they're babies. So we won't call it by the book for the first couple events or for the first meets. And these kids win blue ribbons. And then it's the third meet, and all of a sudden we say, okay, now we're going to call it by the book. What have you done to that 8 and under? You just confused them. Wait a minute, I'm accustomed to getting blue ribbons. I get blue ribbons. Well, son, you're illegal. You're not getting any more blue ribbons. So we're going to call the first meet the same way we call the league championships. And again, you have to look at that DQ as a training aid to where the coach can look at that and make them legal. Thank you. And on the 8 and unders, you know, it takes an awful lot of upper body strength. You're actually lifting yourself out of the water and pulling. We'll give them the hands coming out. But if the hands are under the water, your hands go up. Okay? Any alternating, where they go down, bigger kids, with bigger teams rather, they have circle swim. When they practice, they'll tell everybody, stay to the right of the center line. So they're hugging the lane, and then if they don't concentrate at the meet, they're going down the pool hugging that lane. Their arm hits it, and it causes an alternating stroke. I don't care if they're 8 or 18, your hand goes up. Coming in for the finish, remember the hands must clear the water simultaneously on every stroke. They must be pulled back simultaneously, and they must recover simultaneously. So hitting the lane ropes or any alternating stroke is not allowed. Coming in for the finish, again, the swimmers, when you're swimming this stroke, if you get short-armed, coming in for the finish, the first point of contact is going to be the nose when you hit here and you hit that wall. So the swimmers, they realize that, they'll take their final arm pull, and then they realize they're going to do it, and they spear underwater. Violation. Remember, every stroke, those arms and hands must clear the water. So on your touches for your turns and for the finish, watch for that arm pull. The other thing is sculling. The little kids, they'll get in the water, and you taught them well because they like to breathe. And they start to pull, and they want to keep that head out of the water as long as possible. So if they keep pulling here, that head is out of the water. What we're looking for is when they, and this is sculling, we'll allow that. But what you look for, if you get this, and then those hands come forward, that's a double arm pull. So watch, make sure the hands are just going back, but if they come in and go forward and then back, your hand goes up. And you will see that this year, especially on the 8 and unders. Okay?
Is that called armed underwater recovery, what you
Yes.
just described? Okay.
So arm underwater recovery on your back of your sheet. And on that, if there's something not there, write something in, but we're not looking for an epistle. We just want to have something in there to show what the violation was that will help the coach. Good question, thank you. The next one I want to go over is the individual medley. That's where you're going to swim all 4 strokes.
You mentioned how much of the arm has to come out, especially when we get to arms?
Yeah, what we're saying is just the top of the arm. Question was how much of the arm on the 8 and unders have to come out. We want to at least see air on the forearms. We don't want to see it underwater. On the individual medley, you're swimming 4 stroke disciplines: butterfly, breast, back, and any other stroke. So they're going to start off on butterfly. The butterfly rules come into effect: the turn, the start, the finish. And on the individual medley, the finish rules, when the transition from one stroke to the other, the finish rule is in effect. On the backstroke, they're coming in for a turn. They can do the normal turn, but once they come in for the wall, like they're transitioning from back to breast, they can't roll over on their stomach and do a freestyle turn. They must touch on their back. The more experienced swimmers, when they're coming in at the backstroke flag, they're going to start to arch their back and continue to kick and do a complete back flip. And come right off and pull on the breaststroke. Perfectly legal. And when you're watching there, and this is where with the older kids, the more experienced, when they smile at you, they got you. On that, when they're coming down, they have to touch that wall. And it may be just a fingertip touch. And that's a foot underwater. When they get up and say, am I okay? And they go, yeah. Okay. It means they got you on one. And they're not going to stop and touch the wall, but you have to make that finish rule. You have to touch on your back. And by the time my feet come around, I'm not on my back. I'm on my stomach coming off. So good question, they have to hit that wall going down. Because picture the somersault, when my feet are leaving the wall, I'm in a breaststroke mode, okay? I want to go back to the backstroke. The kids come in for a touch the wall. They miss the wall. They come off and they come back on their back, touch the wall, and go, legal. If they miss the wall, turn around on their stomach, come back and get it, your hand goes up.
Can you state that one more time? The scenario? What was the scenario?
Backstroker. Okay. Coming in, makes his turn, doesn't do the flip turn, makes the turn, comes off, and he knows he missed the wall. He can turn around, skull on his back, and then touch the wall.
Confirm again, the order of the IM is?
Butterfly, back, breast, and any other stroke. And the any other stroke, and you won't see this unless the big kids want to goof off. If you do the elementary backstroke, that's still considered a backstroke. So they can't do the elementary back. It's any other stroke. Can they do a breaststroke with a scissor kick? Yeah? I mean, that's what we're looking for. It used to be butterfly, back, breast, in the freestyle or the crawl. Well, then they came back and said any other stroke, but it can't be a derivative of what they've already swam. Okay? Laura, where are you? We're going good. Thank you for your attention. You may be getting wet here, so be careful. Okay, let's do freestyle. Go out and do a freestyle turn. We covering everything? That's freestyle. Flip turn. Sorry. I don't mean to stand in your way. This is freestyle. She's coming in for her flip turn. She was off on her side, even on her back. Legal. Remember, any stroke, any kick, any body position. Do something. Freestyle on the turn. Legal? Why?
Step on the bottom of the pool.
Any stroke, any body position, that's legal. She stood up and touched the wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Butterfly. What the question was, she went vertical and then she touched the wall. Legal. Legal.
As long as they don't push off the bottom.
Yeah, if she were to stop and push off the wall, your hand goes up. She can hang on the ropes.
Yeah, but that's
Even when you're swimming the mile, if you want to take your breath and lay on the ropes and hang there for a minute, perfectly legal. Okay? Let's do backstroke. Do a turn.
What?
Backstroke turn. It's the backstroke. Came off on her back, doing dolphin kick. We don't care. It's any kick. Okay, she stops. Just resting out there. Vertical, illegal body position. This is when the little kids will throw their leg up there and start to renegotiate with you. And I'm not doing this for one. I need two, like that. Now, where she's sitting there, legal. The little kids will hang there, but as soon as they go vertical, so does your hand.
even with the sculling.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere. She's just hanging there. Okay. Do something illegal on the backstroke. Remember, one double or one arm pull and they make the flip. And the reason why we're doing that, in USA, it's continuous motion. Do the backstroke, turn over, and just kick in and then do it. Legal? And that's what you're going to see with the younger kids. Coaches teaching them to do the flip turn and so forth. They're going to roll over and you're going to go as it takes them a minute to kick in to do that flip turn. But they're hell bent on doing that flip turn, and the coach said when you see those backstroke flags, you roll over. And they're following orders. Okay? Breaststroke. Everything's on a horizontal plane. Arm pull, leg kick, head comes up, simultaneous two-hand touch. One dolphin kick, one arm pull. There's the breaststroke kick, perfectly legal. Did you see her touch? And you probably didn't see it back there. When she touched, her hands were not together. They were on a different plane. We're not looking at the hands. Now, if it's one of these, that's something else. But don't get confused coming in and those hands are just off, not on a horizontal plane, but it's a simultaneous two-hand touch. Illegal.
30 years ago, you couldn't put your head underwater. What's the deal now?
Head must break the surface during each arm pull, leg kick. And that's a very good question. You swam years ago, and that head had to break the surface, and it was just the hair. Whatever you want. I think you better look at the feet. It's very hard to get an experienced swimmer to do something wrong. Did you see the scissor kick? And I know, you're doing great. You're doing great. All right, do something else on the turn. One hand. And I guarantee you'll see that at all age groups, especially on the finish. The swimmer will come in and just touch with one hand. That is going to be very prevalent this year. It is at all levels. She's stopping. Is that legal? Just standing on the bottom, not moving. The illegal body position. Illegal body position. Only time you can stand up or go vertical is on the freestyle.
Is she demonstrating an illegal turn where she twists as opposed to coming in straight?
Okay. Yeah. Come in on your turn and really drop your shoulders. This is going to be hard. I don't think she's going to be able to do it. Come in. Yeah, not be on a horizontal plane. Yeah, but really. Now, it's impossible for her to do this. What she did was drop a hand down, but those shoulders were still legal. So that's why I'm saying don't get mesmerized by the hands here. Okay? Come in, do your turn, do something illegal coming off. Good turn. Three kicks underwater. Come in and take 2 arm pulls underwater. We doing okay?
What's that?
We doing okay? Legal touch. Remember, 1 double arm pull. The head must break the surface at the widest arc of that second arm pull. When you see them doing 2 underwater pulls, your hand automatically goes up. Okay? Butterfly. Everything's coming out simultaneously. Everything is on a vertical plane. 2-hand touch. How far can she kick underwater? 15 meters or 16.4 yards. She's standing up, just resting. Legal? No legal. Come in, one hand. Illegal.
Marked so that second hanging flag is where they have to be up by?
Good question. Question came up when they're illegal for that 15 meters or 16.4 yards. Is that the other backstroke flag? No, it's shorter than the backstroke flag. But if the pool is not marked and you're working that pool, if that head is under by that backstroke flag, that is definitely a violation. So the league should have encouraging all the pools to mark their 15 meters or 16.4 yards. Sometimes they'll put a cone there, just one of the cones. What happens there, I'm watching the event, I hit a cone, I take it and throw it away, and I keep walking